Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Cancer, we have the Knight of Wands. And so this energy really feels like a push towards maybe some kind of change in your life. A channel of passion, of excitement, of wonder. All right, let's take a look here. And so if you want to like, comment, or subscribe, please think about doing any of those things, all of those things. I would appreciate the engagement. If you don't want to do it, that's cool too. I won't be mad at you, but I have to ask, right? It's part of the rules of making YouTube videos. You have to ask. All right, so we have people dancing, and these two holding on to each other. This one kind of freely dancing. We have a person over here holding a child. We have a beautiful kind of energy of togetherness, of the many expressions of joy in your life. And I feel like in this next period of time, this is you really prioritizing your wellness, your ease, your happiness rising, okay? Where things have been maybe a little bit difficult, maybe a little bit strained, maybe, you've just been so busy, you're tired, you're worn out. It feels like all the life is just kind of sucked out of you, right? This is kind of the opposite. I feel there is this just rising of love and togetherness. We have two people walking. Above them, we have a bird kind of soaring. And I feel like this is really an indicator of having a connection that brings you into a place of creativity, of dreaming. You found somebody that you can build a life with, that you are building a life with. But it's not just that. This is somebody that you go into places deep. Places of the soul, places of the spirit. You connect on a divine level. And I think that this is something that maybe in past relationships, it's been lacking. And now maybe in the connection you have now or that you are seeking, maybe not consciously, but there's a desire to connect mind, body, soul. Right? I think we all have that desire. Not a lot of us find it though. We're very lucky if we find somebody that we can get to those deep interior places with. But I feel you maybe realizing, maybe even for the first time, as you look back over kind of the landscape of your relationships prior to the now. And you think, yeah, maybe they were good. Maybe they were, okay, fairly easy. There was some friendship there. There was, maybe a good physical connection. Maybe you just really, you were cool. Wasn't that bad to live together. But it just wasn't that thing. And you find yourself with somebody who You know, for a Cancer person, it might feel like this other person, this love, this beloved, this soulmate, this, dare I say, twin flame, right? It might feel like they are like a cat burglar. They are seeking connection with you. And at times that feels like they are intruding. And at times it feels like you want to retreat. You want to close yourself off. You don't want to show them everything. You don't want to show them your worst parts. Those pieces of self that you are shameful of. Those parts of self that you covet. It's just, this is for me. I don't want anybody to know about this. And yet you have this person who you love and you desire, and you know, you are in unity here. And yet there's, and I think it's a fear. There's a fear here of letting them in. But I don't think that you're totally closed off to it. I think that you are going at the pace that you can live with, right? It's not that you avoid any kind of discomfort. But I think it's like, you know, these are just some of those things that, you know, we tell ourselves, this is something nobody could ever love about me. This is something that nobody could know. If they knew, they would think I'm crazy. If they knew, they would think I'm a terrible person. If they knew, they would think, ew, what's up with this guy? What's up with this girl? But that's usually so far from reality. Especially because I feel like you found somebody who eagerly wants for you, who loves you, who would do anything for you. And I feel like you feel the same way. But to be in this kind of joyousness, it feels strange. I'm not going to say every Taurus. Every Cancer person is like a stoic. But hey. Right? So I feel like this is a place where, yeah, you feel vulnerable. You absolutely feel vulnerable. And that is scary. And that's scary for you. But that's okay. Sometimes life is scary. Sometimes relationships are scary. But I see you as a family. I see you growing together. Now, maybe you do have children. Maybe you will have children. Maybe not. Maybe this is a later in life relationship. Maybe, you know, you end up with all of your little fur babies or your plants, or, you know, being able to travel together without, you know, having to consider everybody's schedule. It's just you two. Enjoying life together, dancing and laughing and having those moments. It doesn't have to be all the time, but having those moments where you know, this is it. This is what all of the work is for. Now, let's see what else. I gotta close my window. I have my window open in my room, and there's no screen. It's like where I have my studio in a basement, and it's kind of actually like a fire escape, basically. And so there's no screen on it. And usually there's not bugs and stuff, but I got a couple of little flying bugs in here, like little gnats or something. So I'm gonna have to close my window here in a minute. They're invading. All right, let's see. So it looks like we also have the letters S and C. S-C. C is in cat. So maybe initials. Look at this, just more dancing together. Here's the head, body wrapped around the waist or the shoulder of this person over here in like kind of a dress, and it just feels like, I feel like it's like that, like kind of, you know, like that stereotype of like the middle-aged couple that like want to do something new and fun together, and you go like take a salsa class or ballroom dancing or something, and you love it and you enjoy it, and it's like a renewal of, hey, things don't have to always just be the drudgery of life, right? It doesn't always just have to be getting through the mundane stuff. There can be this joy, this great joy. And over here, it looks like we have the Hierophant, okay? Looking out into this space, which is on the rim here, which is like the metaphysical, the psychic space, the aether, all of that, okay? We also have the number 79. The Hierophant, though, okay? With all of this blessed union, right, or this desire for, you are seeking this relationship, the balance of your spiritual practices. Okay, that's the big thing. The balance of your creativity, your work, your self-care, all of these things need to happen. Okay? And I feel like you're really, really conscious in this part of your life of how things need to go to kind of really optimize your abilities. So if that means like, hey, I gotta be in bed by 8 o'clock, dude. I gotta be asleep, you know, so I can get up and, you know, be up before the sun comes up, right? And maybe that's just a schedule that really, really is so good for you, right? And that's, you know, I think a lot of people have schedules like that. But, you know, for some, it's like, you know, you might meet somebody that's like a night owl, right? And they just like to be up all night and do their thing. And here you are, you like to be up early in the morning, right? And it's hard. It's hard not to kind of compromise and kind of, you know, change what might be working for you. But I think in this situation, it's really important that you stay mindful of doing the things that you know really benefit your mental health, your physical well-being, and your spiritual well-being, right? So not giving up your practices to have more time to be, you know, out dilly-dallying or whatever, although that is important as well. The leisure is an important aspect to our lives. But, you know, still doing, like, if you're a meditator or you do breath work or you're somebody who is into physical, you know, activities, you maybe do, you know, go to the gym or go on walks or whatever. Just making sure that these things stay intact for you, okay? Because it feels like you are in a place right now, right? And it changes as we change. But right now, you have found your, you know, peak performance regimen. I always mix those two. Not regime, regimen. And so, yeah, just being aware of that. Not getting lost in, this wonderful connection that you have. Okay? Because it's easy. When we're in love, man, we can get wild with it, right? Staying up all hours. Eating all the foods we shouldn't be eating. And not that there's any bad foods. I'm not going to say that. That's not it. But sometimes there are things that we know are just going to mess us up, right? If I eat chocolate, almost any time. But if I eat it at night, I know my stomach is going to be messed up tomorrow. But when I'm in love, which I am. I have my husband, so I have to watch out a lot. If he brings some sweets to bed and offers me some, sometimes it's like I gotta remember I'm in love with you and we're having fun here. But if I eat that, it's gonna really mess up my day tomorrow. So, just being mindful of those kind of boring Malthusian details, right? In the physical world. Okay, let's see. So we have birds, we have lots of messages coming through. And I feel like we have a family member who has transitioned, who I feel like really was a very outdoorsy person. I almost feel like they lived near the ocean, but also near the woods. And I'm like, okay, so are they from the Pacific Northwest? Because that's where I immediately was thinking. It could be, anywhere really that has availability to the ocean, right? Or large bodies of water, possibly. But I feel like this is a person who almost kind of wasn't like an outcast of the family, but they kind of really just stayed to themselves. They were happy. Just kind of, I almost wonder if they were like like somebody who worked at like a park, like a national, a park ranger type of person, or some kind of environmentalist, or it could even be like a farming of some kind. But I'm thinking of the trees, these large trees and the canopies, and I'm going home in my mind. When I was a kid, I'm from East Sacramento, and when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time camping, up near Shasta and Lawson and, all these places up there. And I have this feeling of, if you've ever been to, like an old growth forest or a forest that has really tall trees, which of course that area has the redwoods. Okay. And you walk into an open space beneath these trees and you feel like you're in a cathedral. I mean, it's just, there's nothing that could really replace that. I mean, it's just very specific feeling of being in a natural, wondrous place like this. And I'm envisioning this person just, to other people, maybe looking at them, they think this person's lost out here in the wilderness. But that's not, no. This is where they wanted to be. This is where they were happy. This is where all of the noise of the world ceased. And for the first time, they could hear themselves thinking. And they never wanted to leave that place. And I don't know why they're coming through, because I don't really see what it is. But I know that they're looking for you to notice them. And they're leaving you signs. And they're showing you symbols and numbers and synchronicities. And the letter T really stands out. T, okay? Now, I don't know. But if you relate to this at all and want to share, go ahead and share. But I want you to be aware, right? Look for the patterns because they're there for you. And this is who is sending them to you. Okay? Now, I want to see what this next period of time is going to look like. Maybe the next couple of weeks for you. Now, these readings are timeless. And I've had people ask, what is the time period here? And they're timeless. So whenever you watch the reading, it is kind of activated. Right? So the next 2 weeks after you watch this reading, okay? We're going to start with 1, and it says versatility. All right. Idealism. An affair of some kind. Okay. Now we're going to maybe do 3 more. I know, I'm always like, we're gonna do 3, and I end up doing 6. Fulfillment, choice. Now which one should we do? Which one stands out here? I'm gonna say, right here, this one. Inheritance, yes. There we go. Heck yeah. Okay, so we have versatility, idealism, affair, fulfillment, choice, and inheritance. So maybe you are inheriting some money from this person that we were talking about. And I'm like, what's the message coming through? You know, but maybe it is. Maybe they have left something for you. Okay, maybe it's money. Hey, maybe it's like a stack of like, you know, National Geographics from the 70s. I don't know. But you will be receiving something from somebody, I imagine. We have... Oh my goodness. Choice. And I feel like... Here's the deal. I feel like it's like you have the desire to choose love always, but you are so aware, right? You are not somebody who just, you know, follows your heart all the time. Let's just be real, Cancer, right? There's a lot of thinking about how is this going to work out? Here's the big thing. What are their motives? Right? Why is this person even showing up in my life? What do they want? What are they going to end up doing? What is this going to end up like for me? Right? And I think that at times, you know, you stand in your own way. You just do. We all do, right? I'm not just singling you out, but it's hard. I think it's really hard for you to just open up. You know, but you're trying. And I think you are. You're actively making choices. You want to find some kind of fulfillment in this life. And I think that it is. You're learning to be more versatile. Right? I know. I saw this. I said, ugh. So did you, right? Being a little less pessimistic. My husband is a Cancer. Well, and you all probably know him. Shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. Now, I'm just going to say we're not always as we seem in our videos because I know you're thinking that's like the most positive dude ever. Well, in our real lives, right? I will say that Cancer people, from my, perspective, can be pretty pessimistic, pretty judgmental, pretty like closed off about a lot of things, right? But I think that once you start really working on being versatile, and letting some of that idealistic thinking like flow in, that paired with your talent, your skills, your ability, ooh, unstoppable. I know. And now I'm a Virgo, right? Now my Cancer husband, who used to be the gloomy, used to be the voice of reason, used to be the one that wasn't, the big dreamer. Now he's telling me, you got to be a little more positive, mama. That's what he calls me, mama. And I say, yeah, I know. And it's weird for a Cancer to be telling me that. But listen, when we choose love, and that's not just romantic love, when we choose love as the way, our passions, our interests, our talents, developing those, our spiritual path, our family, our community, and yes, our romantic entanglements at times. When we choose love, it is a key that opens all doors. And so, let's do our lucky numbers. We're going to pick 3 numbers here. Oops. Here we go. 96, 83, 96, 83, and bing, 51, 96, 83, 51. Let's do our inner child oracle cards, and this will just punctuate the reading, and we'll be out of here. I'll let you go after that. Okay. Let's see. Number 12. Emotions are the reflection. Look for the deeper meaning. Look for the deeper meaning. I know. I'm just sighing at all these. I have been so emotional lately. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff going on in our personal lives with family and health issues and things. And not my health issues, other people's. And I just, my goodness. I thought it was bad when I was pregnant or postpartum, but my goodness, I just am having a moment in my life, and I keep telling myself the same thing. These are transient things. It's a reflection. It's just it's a distortion. It's a, whatever. It's not the whole picture. But I'll tell you what, sometimes it feels like it. It feels like it's everything. It feels like that emotion in that moment is just all encompassing, right? So anyways, Cancer, I'm going to tell you, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Also, if you want to like, subscribe, leave a comment, please do. It's free to subscribe, and I read all the comments. All right. I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Goodbye.